to this quarterly planning workshop. My name's John Drury. I'm going to introduce you to a quarterly planning process that is going to help you make money. It's going to help you save time. It's going to increase your productivity. I guarantee it. My wife and I put this process together over the last 10 years or so, and we've been using it every quarter for the last 8 or 9 years. And it's really helped us to focus, to know what's next, to be able to make sure we're dealing with the main things and carving out time in our world, in our week, in our day to get the main things done. We've got both got successful businesses. We're home based. We're consultants, but we go out to clients all over Australia, in fact, around the world. And the opportunities that we have are amazing. And we've needed this process to help us be productive, to be efficient. It's definitely made us money. It's saved us time. It's an incredibly helpful process that I've now taught to hundreds of people, and I want to share it with you today. So you would have your quarterly planning workbook, and I want you to get that ready and open it or look at it on your screen. You may want to print it out, or if you want to type into it as you go, that's probably the best way. It's an interactive PDF that you've received. And I'm going to break this up into 4 sections. So I'll introduce the section, take about 5 or 10 minutes, and then gives you an opportunity to do that section. So I'll guide you along. You can stop and start the video if you wish, or you can listen to this and then go and do the work and then come back to video 2. They're all in all, there'll be 4 videos that 4, 5, 10 minute videos that will help guide you through, and you can do this process depending on how well you know what you want out of your business this year. This is going to help you work out what you must do this quarter to achieve your goals this year. It should take you less than 4 hours, maybe down to 3 or 2 if you're quick. Okay, so let's get going in this first section. First of all, we'll get past the contents here. First of all, I want to welcome you to this workshop and congratulate you on taking the time to invest in yourself. This is an investment in yourself that's going to save you time and money. So it's not a done-for-you program. You've got to think, you've got to do some work, but it's a guided program. I believe that planning is best done every 90 days. Goal setting is best done annually. You set a target a year from now, and you can do more than that. You can set targets out 3 to 5 years or 10 years, but mostly goal setting is done annually, and then planning is best done quarterly because so much changes in our lives over a month even, let alone 3 months. So we've got to have a planning process that enables you to be flexible and agile, and where you don't adjust your goals, but you adjust the steps you're taking to achieve your goals. Okay, so first of all, I would like you to set some intentions for doing this workshop. What are your intentions? At least 1, up to 3. What do you hope to get out of this? And I'd love to know when you finished it. If you can send me an email or respond to this, I'd love to know how you've gone in achieving those intentions. And then the key to knowing, to planning is knowing what you want. So knowing as passionately as possible what you want out of your business over the next 5, 10 years, what you're trying to get out of it is such an important thing. If you can set very, very clearly the longer range vision for your business, then it's much easier to set goals for the next 12 months and 3 years. And then it's far easier to plan the next 90 days and each month related to that. So sometimes if you haven't thought through your vision clearly, you could do a couple of exercises that I've outlined there. The whole idea of a magic wand. If I had a magic wand and you could do whatever you want, what would it be? Stir up some dreaming, visions about dreaming and thinking beyond the now and beyond the practical to what you'd really like to see. If you could write out an ideal average day kind of exercise. That's a good way to think about what would I like my life to be like. And this is about taking control and knowing what you want and then aiming to get it. You can create a vision board. If you're a highly visual person, like most of us are these days, create a vision board like the one pictured and put the things that you really want to see in your life on a vision board, and you can put it up somewhere that you can help remind you. Or you can write a eulogy. Imagine your funeral, not pleasant, but imagine your funeral a long time from now. And what would you like said about you by people that are close to you? What's going to be said about what you did, who you are, the person you've become? What's going to be said at your funeral about you? That's a lot. Depends a lot on the decisions you make today. Okay, moving on. So this next section, page 4, is right. I want you to write as clearly and as briefly as possible what it is you want. The big picture, firstly, for your life and business over the next 3 years. We want to focus just on that. Where would you like to be in 3 years' time in your life and your business? And then your big picture for your business just for this year, for the next 12 months. So what would be the big picture? Where do you want to see your business in 12 months' time? So your life and your business for 3 years, your business for the next 12 months. Okay? And you can put as much detail to that as you want. I encourage you not to agonize over this, just to get it out of your head. If you've not done a lot of thinking about your vision, then do that exercise I mentioned earlier, and then get everything on the page that you can. Type it out, write it out, and get it clear, and especially get your goals clear for the next 12 months. And then I love to do this, your big word. Like a big word is a good thing to have to help you, like an umbrella statement of what you're going to achieve, what you'd like your life and business to achieve. You might want to go for the next decades. We're just starting the 2020s. As I do this, what's your big word for the decade? For the year, what's your big word for this year? For me, 2020 is all about winning. We've had plenty of challenges in 2020 in Australia, in particular, all around the world with COVID-19. But in Australia, we had bushfires and all sorts of other things, floods and issues earlier in the year, and then COVID hit. Plus, my wife and I both had cancer issues we've had to deal with this year. It's been a challenging year. So my word for 2020 is winning. I refuse to lay down. I refuse to let anything defeat me. The challenges to be overcome. So that's my word for the year. What's yours? And then your word for this quarter, for this next quarter that we're moving into. What's your word for that? And my word for the first quarter was regroup. And then my word for the second quarter is launch. I'm getting ready to launch a whole lot of new things as we come out of the COVID lockdown and isolation period. And then my word for the third quarter of this year is, for the fourth quarter, is momentum. I want to launch and then build momentum into the last part of this year and into next year. So what's a word that summarizes where you feel you're at and will help? I put it up on my wall right in front of me, in front of my desk, to remind me what I'm about in just one word. It's very helpful. Then a helpful thing to do, now if you've never done this before, this will be a little bit trickier, but you can just do this off the top of your head. Once you've done this quarterly process a couple of times, this will make a lot more sense. Just reviewing your last quarter, what you achieved, what you didn't, what were the consequences of not achieving the goals that you set, what's your biggest win, your biggest frustration, biggest time waster, what did you avoid? We all avoid things. If you have the last 90 days again, what would you do differently, knowing what you know now? Because hindsight's so clear. What have you learned about yourself? Always a great question to ask. And then a little summary table. What will you add, delete, or adjust? Okay, so that's the first section, the first little video that I'm doing for this quarterly planning workshop online. I want you to now go and do that up to page 5. And I encourage you to take the time and fill in those sections. And I hope that's really a great start for you today.